All right, let's talk about one of the biggest challenges for any leader, protecting your focus. In the next few minutes, we're going to walk through a really powerful framework for filtering out all that noise so you can pour your energy and your team's energy into the things that actually move the needle.
Just think about your last week for a second. How many hours did you lose to meetings that went nowhere? How much mental space got taken up by unproductive criticism or just, the endless chatter from the market? That daily drain, that's exactly what we're here to tackle.
So what's our first line of defense? It's a strategic way of thinking, a mental model for protecting your most valuable asset, your attention. It's called the Locked Door Framework.
Okay, to really get this, let me paint a picture. Imagine a top-tier product manager. She's laser-focused on shipping a huge, high-value feature. But every single day, a stakeholder from a totally different department just bombards her with unsolicited, unhelpful criticism, clearly trying to derail her progress and mess up her team's flow.
So for weeks, the product manager did what most of us would do. She tried to reason with him. She engaged in these endless debates. And the result? Well, it was exactly what you'd expect. Her energy was completely sapped, her team's morale took a hit, and progress on the actual project just ground to a halt. The cost of engaging with that negativity was massive.
Now here's the aha moment. A philosopher asks her this really simple question, and she says, well, it's still theirs. Exactly. The negativity, the criticism, all that garbage, it only becomes your problem if you decide to open the door and let it into your house. And this gets us right to the heart of the framework. See, it's not a passive thing. It is an active, strategic choice. It's about consciously deciding which external inputs, that difficult stakeholder, a dip in the market, a cynical team member, get to take up space in your head, and which ones you just keep locked out.
So, the big question is, how do you actually put this into practice? Let's get into the toolkit. We're going to break down 3 really practical mental models you can start using immediately.
So here they are. First, the glass of water, which is all about the real cost of dwelling on things. Second, the cow on a rope, which is about realizing you have the power to just let go. And finally, silent execution, my personal favorite, which is about letting your work do all the talking. Let's dive into that first one, the glass of water. This is all about getting one thing straight. When it comes to a problem you can't solve right now, the initial hit isn't the real danger. The real danger is how long you choose to carry it around with you.
Think about it like this. If I ask you to hold a glass of water for 1 minute, no problem, right? It's easy. But what if I ask you to hold that same glass of water for an entire day? Your arm would be screaming in pain. The weight of the glass never changed, only how long you held it. It's the exact same thing with a nasty email or a project setback. The longer you hold it, the heavier it gets. And that just perfectly illustrates the solution, doesn't it? Real focus isn't about pretending the glass isn't there. It's about making a conscious, strategic choice to just put it down, acknowledge it, learn from it if you can, and then move on to what you can actually control.
Okay, on to our second tool, the cow on a rope. Now this one is all about power and control. And the central idea is a little confronting. We are often tied to all that unproductive noise, not because we have to be, but because we are actively choosing to hold on to the rope. Look at the 2 options here. On one side, you're holding the rope. You are literally tethered to that stubborn cow, that negative feedback, that pointless argument. It goes wherever it wants and you get dragged along. But the moment you decide to just drop the rope, to stop engaging, to stop being interested, it loses all of its power over you. Instantly, you take your control back. And that brings us to our final and honestly most proactive tool. Once you've locked the door and dropped the rope, it's time to go on offense. This is all about channeling that energy you've protected into the one thing that truly matters: silent, focused, relentless execution. The core idea here is really simple, but it takes discipline. True leadership is knowing your strategy and just staying the course, even when people question you. Every single ounce of energy you spend trying to win an argument or reacting to a critic is energy that you've stolen directly from getting things done. And you have to remember this: when you are focused on a long-term vision, your short-term moves might not make a lot of sense to the loud, reactive world around you. And that is perfectly okay. Your job isn't to justify every single step, it's to know where you're going. Ultimately, this is the leadership mantra that ties it all together. Don't get sucked into debates. Stop fighting for validation. Lock your door, put the glass down, cut the rope, and just focus on the work. Because in the end, your results will be the only argument that actually matters.
So as you head into your next week, I want to leave you with a challenge.
What glass of water are you going to consciously choose to put down? What stubborn cow are you finally going to cut the rope on? And how are you going to reinvest all that reclaimed focus into just